Amen. Amen. Oh man, I like that. Ain't nothing like feedback unless it's coming out of the system. Yeah. I wanted to welcome you guys to the Greater Joliet Alliance for Youth annual Students of Excellence Banquet. And just want to say thank you guys for being here, because we were kind of afraid that you weren't going to show up because only about 10 people responded at the appropriate deadline. I don't want to get too comfortable because I'll start saying hallelujah, Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. I was telling someone, I said, it's a good problem because they were saying, we need more chairs. I can remember when we were over across the street at JFK's downstairs in our open area, and we grew out of that space because we wanted to celebrate more and more young people in this thing we call our Students of Excellence. It's about having an opportunity to recognize and honor our young people as they're doing what is appropriate. And, I guess we want to give credit to everybody involved in that. We're not just celebrating the children, but we're celebrating the parents and everybody who's around them that's causing them to make those positive choices. So thank you for coming and helping us to honor our honorees tonight. And we want to honor you too, Mom and Dad and Uncle and Grandpa and cousin and teachers and whoever else is involved in training these guys up in the way they should go. So thank you for that. So now I'm going to go over here to the program and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'd like to introduce the officers of the Joliet Alliance for Youth. Most of us, I think, are here tonight. I threatened them, and if they're not here, the night is still young, and I'm probably going to go by their house and water balloons, toilet paper. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. It takes some of us longer than others to grow up, I think probably the person I want to certainly recognize first is the banquet chair, and that's Miss Portia Williams. And I'm the one that says, no, you don't get to do that because we need to move on, because, I guess I'm just weird like that or something, but she's responsible for all of this group. So thank you very much. Yeah, she's from the Harvey Brooks Foundation. We'll hear more from her. Our membership chair had a board meeting to go to tonight, so she'll show up later on. And her name is Anna Miller. She's at the Greater. What is it? Greater Danielle? Help me out. Greater Joliet Area YMCA. Anna Miller. She wears a couple of hats because she's also our secretary. The scholarship chair is Miss Mary White. So you'll hear more from her a little bit later as she's doing the scholarship presentations and stuff. Our treasurer had some family things that he had to take care of, but it's actually the United Way, and Mike Hennessy is our treasurer. So he's not here, but if you guys see him at the bank or something, make sure that he's putting our money in there or something. No, but he's actually the chairperson. Would he be the CEO of United Way of Will County? And so we are certainly affiliated with that, and they are certainly responsible for a lot of the resources that we have to do this event, our annual event. And so Mike Hennessy is our treasurer. Our vice president is Danielle Crone, and she's here. My name is Larry Crawford, and I'm the president of this thing. Okay. The other thing that I would say is that we're celebrating 1991. was when this organization was founded and established. So this is actually our 25th year of doing service. The reason why I say this is that I stand on the shoulders of some pretty awesome people who have served as president before me, and you know, the one that I've gained a whole lot of insight and leadership skills from is the gentleman that's sitting back there at the table, Mr. Ardell Evans. There's another president here that has kind of said, Larry, you know, just kind of chill out and do the right thing. And she has just helped me by leaps and bounds, and that's Miss Cherry Powell, and she's over here in this other corner. She is service president also. And, they're just, you know, those guys are just kind of, I watched them as they stewarded what we call our mission in such an honorable way that it made it very easy for me to step into the presidency. You know, of course, you know, I had to, you know, break some legs, but certainly I stand on their shoulders, and they certainly set this thing up and made it very easy for me to step into it and do what our mission is. Another person I would certainly want to recognize is our liaison, and he's also served as vice president of this organization, and that's Mr. John Davis. The next person that I would like to introduce to you is a member of our alliance who's a part of the Joliet Police Department, and he's going to introduce our speaker. That's Officer Ed Johnson. Come on up, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Can you hear me if I don't use the microphone? Yes. All right, good to know. If for some reason I fade off, I know Ms. Powell in the back will yell. First of all, welcome everybody to the banquet this evening. Again, I'd like to thank the committee members that were involved in putting this together. Portia, you did an awesome job. She gives direction well for all of us to try and get these things accomplished. And we still don't necessarily do it to her standard, just so you understand. But she's done this several times now, and she does a fantastic job at it. My name's Ed Johnson. I'm a police officer with the City of Joliet for the last 25 years. I've been with the J for probably the last 2 years and took over for an officer that had retired, and have been a part of that organization and seeing what they do and what they've been able to accomplish in those last couple of years. Tonight I have the privilege and the honor of introducing the guest speaker for this evening. And it's truly a privilege and an honor to me because I happen to know this individual since the time she was a young child. I actually know her whole family. So to be able to come up here and speak about her a little bit and introduce her is a wonderful thing. Samantha Quigley comes from a long line of athletically abled people that are well recognized in the Joliet area. Her dad, who was at University of St. Francis, and actually the gymnasium there is named after Pat Quigley. Her mom was a standout athlete at University of St. Francis. I believe still holds the record over there. And I'm going to read, just because there are so many stats to go over, I'm just going to read some of the things in reference to their family. But I've watched these kids, from her brothers and her sister, excel at not only athletics, but academics. And as I've watched them grow up as individuals in the community here in the Joliet area, and as you'll see momentarily, nationally. As I said before, her father, Pat, played basketball and tennis for St. Francis, and the playing court at the Sullivan Center was named in his honor. Her mother, Chris, is a USF all-time leading scorer in basketball and was a star softball player for the Saints. Her retired jersey still hangs in the Sullivan Center today. Her stepfather, Don Cyril, played basketball for the legendary St. Francis head coach Pat Sullivan. Samantha's older sister, Allie, also was an all Big East basketball player at DePaul and has played professionally both in Europe and with the WNBA, most recently with the Chicago Sky. And I know now she is, last time I heard, I think she was in Greece. Somewhere overseas. Her younger brother, Jake, is a individual who played tennis for the Saints and also currently coaches both professionally and as a coach at JCA. Her older brother, Ryan, who played pro baseball in the minor leagues for 6 years, was with the Washington Nationals, the San Diego Padres, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, along with our own Slammers right here in Joliet. He also coaches at JCA currently. Sam herself graduated from DePaul in her 4 years on the court for DePaul with the Blue Demons. She started 116 of 134 games, and her 484 career assists still ranks third all-time at DePaul University. In high school, she was a multi-sport star as a high school athlete at Joliet Catholic Academy, the Sun-Times Female Athlete of the Year in 2006, and as a standout basketball player, volleyball player, and softball player. She was a 4-year starter in each of those sports from 2002 to 2006. So that's just a little bit about her. What I can tell you is Samantha was an individual, and again, I had the privilege of watching her grow up. She grew up with my daughters. She's an individual who always excelled at anything that she did. She always wanted to go further and do better each time. And I think she's taken that along with her into her professional career now as the head coach of the women's basketball team at the University of St. Francis. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Samantha Quigley. Coach, come on up.
Thanks for having me. I probably won't do the mic either. I'm a coach. I'm used to yelling. So Officer Johnson, gave you a little bit of bio about me, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about a couple things that I feel are very important to having a successful life. So the biggest thing is, I'm a Joliet area girl. I went to kindergarten at Forest Park, St. Pat's Grade School, Joliet Catholic Academy, and even stayed close to home for my collegiate career and went to DePaul University in Chicago. You mentioned my family quite a bit. My mother's been a teacher in the Joliet area at Gompers Junior High. Any Gompers people here? Raise your hands, yes. I don't know if you know Miss Quigley. She's your PE and health teacher. But she's been there for over 25 years, I want to say. And just the area of Joliet has been something that we really fell in love with. I grew up here. You mentioned my late father when we were about 5 or 6 years old. All of us siblings were all born in a row, so we were 4, 5, 6, and 7 when my father passed away. He was hitting fly balls to some of his players at Lincoln Way Central, caught a cramp in his leg, and then within a year, cancer had taken him. So my mother's my hero. She went through a lot during those times. She calls those the crappy times. But 10 years after that, the best man in their wedding, he and my mom actually met up, and that's Don Sturl that he talked about quite a bit. So that's a little bit about my family. The reason I talk about them so much, and I had Officer Johnson talk about them so much, is because they were very influential people in my life. They still are today. They are why I'm here standing in front of you. They are why I'm at the place I am in my life. So I want us all to take 10 seconds right now. We're going to take 10 seconds and close our eyes and just think of the special people in your life who have made you who you are. I'll keep the time for you. 10 seconds.
Mama. Mama. Mama.
So a lot of the people you're probably thinking about are at the table with you. Some of them might not be here anymore. Some of them may be teachers that couldn't be here, but those people that you have thought about are the big reason why you are where you are today. They believe in you, and they believe that you are or can be a champion at some point in your life. So we're going to talk about how to be a champion. The number one thing I think you have to do is you have to find and locate a realistic goal or dream. That's the biggest part of being a champion. You have to figure out what it is that you really love and what passion you have for something. If you don't know what that passion is yet, don't get discouraged, because whatever you're in right now, whether that be work or school, or you're still trying to figure out, where you want to go to school, you have to be committed in whatever it is you're in. For some of us, younger people, I'm a part of your generation too. I'm going to talk about this generation a little bit. But just having a passion for whatever it is you're doing, whether that be sports, whether that be, going to school, if you're in any honor societies, those things are really important, I think, and be committed to whatever it is that you're doing. The second thing is to work and compete every single day. Don't ever be satisfied. I want to tell you a story. When I was at DePaul University, I played with my sister for 1 year. She was 2 years older than me. I tore my ACL my second year, and then she left. And so it was my junior year. I felt like, yes, this is my time to shine. My sister's gone. And in our third or fourth game, we went out to New Mexico. We played a team, a pretty good team at New Mexico, and we played in front of 8,000 people, which, if you know, for women's basketball, that's a lot of people. So we played in front of 8,000 people. It was a close game all game. We were up 1 with like 7 seconds left. And their point guard got the ball. She went the length of the floor, scored a layup at the buzzer. And so we lost by 1. So we get on the plane flight. We're heading home, and I'm thinking to myself, we played all right. Like I felt like I played pretty well. And then the next day, my coach called me into the office. And I thought, maybe he's going to tell me how good I did, And we sat down, and he put the film above the game, and what he did was he took one of these pointers, and I think it's working here. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, and he went through every possession of the game, and every possession, he paused it, and he showed me, and he went like this. What are you doing to help the team right now? And I was really disappointed in myself. And then he went to the next possession, and he went like this. What are you doing to help the team right now? And we went through every possession. There's over 100 possessions in a basketball game. And almost 80% of the possessions, I was doing nothing to help us. And we lost by 1. So I was really disappointed in myself. And that was kind of a turning point in my career, but also in my life. I felt like I needed to focus on every single day doing my very best, because I didn't want to be circled like that ever again. So I think that's got to be something you really think about. You guys are all young, you have a lot of life ahead of you, but every single day, how are we doing our best? The last and final thing, I think, is your response to adversity. Once you pick your goal, once you find out what you want to do, you're working really hard, there's going to be obstacles. Nothing's going to be perfect, nothing's going to work out great. So understanding how you respond to adversity. And a lot of times there's excuses. Our team makes excuses all the time, for not getting better in the off season, for not going to class. You should always go to class. Okay, but there's always excuses. And so what we've really been focusing on as a team is how can we find a way to get around that excuse? I have to babysit. I can't come because I have work. I couldn't go to class because I fell asleep. How can we find a way around these excuses? So we've been really talking a lot about that. I met a family friend this past weekend. He's a lawyer from Hawaii. His name's Steve Dyer. And he used to be a lawyer in the military. And the military has a lot of different acronyms. There's CSI, there's FBI, there's, all those different acronyms. And one that they use that he told me about this past weekend was they use FIDO. And FIDO stands for Forget It, Drive On. So the head military guys, the generals, the head officers, when all their younger people start giving them excuses or saying, I can't do this and I can't do that, they tell them FIDO. That's what they tell them, to forget it and to drive on. And so that's one thing I think you really got to focus on. Once you pick your goal, once you're working hard, once you find out there's obstacles, we have to fight on no matter what happens. Last thing is to really understand that there's always another level. Once we become a champion, some of you tonight are receiving awards. How can we get to another level? There's always a higher level to get to. So last thing I want to leave you with, if you turn to the third page, there's a quote on the bottom. I don't know if you guys have read it at all, but I'll read it for you right now. It says, I hope your dreams take you to the corners of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known. And I think that quote, says a lot about finding something that you love, finding a passion, and then really working hard to make sure that you're successful in that passion. And that's truly a dream. That's what a dream is. So thank you so much. Congratulations to all of you that are going to receive awards here in a couple minutes. You deserve it. That's why you're here. So thank you very much.
hope that you'll take to heart what Coach Quigley has shared with us today, and not only for the young people, but for the adults as well, because particularly us older people. Notice I didn't say older. We are still growing, and so we've got this tendency to dismiss learning opportunities. And I hope you don't dismiss what those gems that you shared with us today. Thank you very much again. All right, on to the next thing. Each year, I like this microphone. Give me a little, yeah, thank you very much. Each year we present awards to one of the members of our alliance, and then an individual who's a part of our alliance as well. We call those the Founders Award and the Agency Awards. And they speak to an agency or the individual who effectively represents our mission. And, and that's a cool thing. It's about collaborating and doing things that are for children and families. Our purpose is to improve services for youth in the greater Joliet area by encouraging cooperation and collaborating effectively. So when our alliance get together, we're trying to figure out what does each of us bring to the table so that we can more effectively serve the population that we're engaged with. And so each year we recognize an agency or an individual who does that well. And this year, I'm going to pull it out because I'll probably say the Founders Award and then read the wrong thing. But it's a pretty cool thing. Ooh, I want to do the Founders Award first. For your outstanding support of Joliet youth and the continued mission of Jay. This person, I did everything that I could to, I discovered that she had some things to do that prevented her from being here tonight. But she's from the Regional Office of Education. She does a youth conference for high school, for teenagers, for boys and girls, every year for probably the last, maybe 3 or 4 years. And it just provides an opportunity to do some very enriching things that empower them to be all the success that they want to be. That I like to say that they're willing to work for. And that person has done that effectively. She certainly represented the mission of the Greater Joliet Alliance of Youth well. And her name is Delfina Lopez from the Regional Office of Education. And accepting the award for Ms. Lopez is Larry Crawford. Thank you very much. In fact, I really did. I had to tell her, in terms of knowing that she had, I said, well, I know what you're describing is really, really important. And where she is, I think I would have chosen to do what she had to do tonight. But certainly, I said, girl, you won, you got the award. You know how you try to be surprising and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't, because I wanted her to be here so bad, because part of that thing is when the members of the Alliance celebrate you. And I don't know if I can describe that feeling to her, but I'm going to try in terms of letting her know that the Alliance honored her in such a way tonight. The other award is the Agency Award. And it's basically a similar, if not the same thing, in terms of recognizing an agency who effectively serves the community in a way that reflects the mission of the Alliance. And you guys, if you've been to baseball games, if you've been to whatever kind of social service events or fundraising events or events that require traffic control and security for that matter. There's a group of young men who have been around to make that stuff run effectively and efficiently. They've gone to competitions related to what they do as their mission is, and they've been recognized as one of the premier organizations based on what their purposes are. And I'm trying to be as mysterious as I can, but ultimately I'm talking about the Joliet Police Explorers. I'm not quite sure how to. How are you affiliated with the organization?
I'm going to explain on that in just a second.
Okay, in just a second. That's all you get. Use the microphone.
No, I
Come on in, Pete.
He gets sidetracked easily. Just real quick, folks. I really appreciate the fact that they honored the police department and the Explorers with this award. The Joliet Alliance for Youth, actually one of the founding fathers, and Mr. Evans and Ms. Powell can attest to it, one of the founding fathers of that organization was Chief Joe Beasley back in the early 90s. And when the program first started, I was just coming on the job. But one of the things that we've facilitated since then is our Explorer Post program. And I'm just going to correct Mr. Crawford on one thing. It's not just gentlemen. It's men and women. So we have young men and women part of our organization. It is actually sponsored through the Boy Scouts of America, but is open to male and female individuals between the ages of 14 and 21. And the reason we cut off that age of 21 is because legally in the state of Illinois, they can become police officers at that point in time. The individuals that are a part of this organization, it's not just kids that want to be involved in law enforcement. It's kids that some have an interest in law enforcement, some maybe social work, some are just looking for a group that they can hang out with and fit in with because maybe they don't play sports or maybe they're not into the academic clubs and those types of things. We have kids from all different directions, several different schools that all come together on Thursday nights and meet. We do academic training with them, but they learn basically what it is to be a Joliet police officer. This is Captain Bryson McCaskill. Bryson, at one point in time, was the baby of our group at the ripe young age of 14 years of age. He is steadily creeping up on 20 years of age at this point in time. He's an outstanding young man who is actually the commander of the Explorer Post unit. So he is the top guy for the Explorers. He's competed in numerous state and national competitions. They've brought home awards and accolades to the Joliet Police Department with the training that they've undertook and come in with. And this is a guy who, when he first came in, he was just well, he's kind of still a scrawny little guy, but he was very quiet, and we had to kind of engage him to get involved. But he took that training, and now, like I say, he commands probably about 30 individuals under his control at that point when he runs the meetings. So they've done a fantastic thing. On top of that, he is a college student. I think he's holding down about 2 or 3 jobs right now. And so what I'm trying to get across is this is an organization that the Joliet Police Department wants to continue to have that relationship with these young men and women because they're great examples of who we want our police officers to be. We take this young man with us any day of the week and bring him into our organization because he's an outstanding individual. The chief that we have in place, Chief Brian Benton, is very much about community involvement and staying involved with not only our youth, our seniors, and those types of things. So to have these types of organizations and outlets for individuals to be a part of is a very important thing to us at the Joliet Police Department. So again, thank you so much for that award. President, I don't know if you want to say one or two things. No, all right. You guys, thank you so much.
This is the, at this point, this is our only annual event that we do. It's our Students of Excellence Banquet. We expect to expand what we do and have another event in the fall. And all of the proceeds, if we're doing fundraising, will be leading back to this event. And as much as we're celebrating about almost 20 students tonight, we would like to do 50. We would like to move our event to a larger venue so it can accommodate more families and children and their guests and do that. So when you see the Joliet Alliance of Youth is putting on, did I say of youth for youth, is putting on an event, then know that the proceeds are going to a worthy cause. It's going to be for these kinds of events so we can get the awards and the things that we're going to honor our students with tonight. So basically, I just put that shameless plug in. We've got some other things coming up so that we can generate some more funds so that we can celebrate more families, okay? Thought I'd throw that in for free. You know, anything else, I'm going to have to charge you. The other thing is that not only do we do that, but we also provide scholarships. And Miss Mary White is going to come and do the scholarship presentations.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Y'all are a beautiful group of people out here this evening. I am proud to introduce our scholarship recipients for 2016. We have three scholarship recipients, and they had to gain 240 points, and there is a team of us who work together. So we have a committee who work together to choose these students who will be going to college. So they are high school students in the 12th grade who will be going to college. And they all are just such miraculous students. You know, I mean, they work hard in school, their GPAs. Someone asked me, I said, how do you exceed a 4.0 grade GPA? You know, and then they work, they participate in school activities, and they participate in the community. You know, community service and volunteering and everything. So this is a miraculous group of students. So let's give them a hand before we even go into that. So first we have with us Bria Acree from Joliet Catholic Academy. And maybe she's not here tonight, huh? Next we have Jason Miller from Joliet West High School. Okay, hi. Okay, Jason. No, we can just say about it. All right. And then our third student is Dora Richardson from Joliet West High School. So these are our scholarship recipients for 2016. This is my first year, so I'm learning too because I'm always growing as well. Amen.
Generally, what we do is once these guys determine where they're going to school, then that money is sent directly to that institution to contribute to their going to school. It's not that we question their integrity, but the thing is that we manage it in that way so that we're certainly making sure that the money is used for that purpose. And that's why you don't see us putting it in their hands right now. You know, Jason looks kind of shady. You know, no. We want to say congratulations to you, and just wanted you to be aware of how we manage that, and that we're just certainly honored to present those scholarships to you guys.
All right.
Y'all think we can get a parents
Thing that we do is celebrate the individuals. Each of our Alliance members have the opportunity to choose honorees based on how they participate or involved in the various agencies that make up the Joliet Alliance for Youth. And they have their own criteria for choosing our honorees. And I always use District 86 as my employer as an example. A student could have been suspended from Joliet Public Schools. But if he or she is having success at the Boys Club, and the Boys Club is a part of our alliance, and they choose to recognize that student as a student of excellence, then I don't get to say, hey, we suspended him or her. Because that's a pretty arrogant position to take, in my opinion. Because sometimes the challenge, I may be the problem. I may not have the ability to activate the excellence that the Boys Club had for that particular individual. So as those individuals are selected by our alliance members, then they set their own criteria. We don't challenge that, and we honor them in this event. So we have 19 students to honor tonight. And so I want to start with, who do you want to start with? You want to start with Lincoln? Lincoln, you ready? We got the principal of Lincoln Regional Safe School. How's that feel? Introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Scott Pritchard. I'm the principal of Lincoln School. This is Lincoln Regional Safe School. That's not exactly true. We are Lincoln School. We have 3 different programs. We have a program for students that have had some disciplinary situations occur in their home school. We have kids that have truancy issues. We have some kids that come to us and are credit deficient, and they just need an opportunity to get back on track. When I tell people that I'm a principal of an alternative school, they think, oh, you're the principal of a school with all bad kids. No, absolutely not. I'm the principal of a school with good kids. So I am very proud to present awards to 4 individuals. The first one, unfortunately, 3 were not able to make it tonight. But the first one, Austin, can everyone come on? Austin is very special to me. I remember Austin, and Austin was about this tall. Austin, before I was a principal at Lincoln School, I was a principal at Calvin Grove, and Austin was one of my students. And he graduated, I moved on about at the same time. And then about a year later, he walked into the office and he looked at me and went, oh no. The word that I'm going to use to describe Austin, I can tell you when he was in 8th grade, when he was, even last year, could not be a word that I would use to describe Austin, that would be tenacity. When Austin came to Lincoln, he looked at it and said, I can't do this, I can't do this. And something clicked. I don't know what it was. Maybe staying away from class a little bit more. Something clicked, and all of a sudden, he got this I can't do it attitude. And that's just, he has grown so much, and I'm so proud to recognize him tonight. So, Austin, thank you very much. You can do two. The second individual that I have recognized tonight is Brett Gordon. Brett is he's no longer a student at Lincoln. He's moved on, he's graduated, he's now got a job, which is one of the reasons why I was not able to attend today. Brett came to us and he was credit deficient. He struggled with this in the beginning, and all of a sudden it was just kind of like with Austin, something clicked. You know what, I can do this. He got so many credits done in his last year and was able to graduate. He's going into the service, and we're so proud of him. He's a real success story at Lincoln. So, Brett, even though you're not here, congratulations. The next individual that I have, I'm actually not going to recognize her. Her name is China Lanier. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read portions of an essay that she wrote for a class. I think it will explain what type of young lady that China actually is. Lincoln School changed me the most of any other event in my life. Before I got to Lincoln, my attitude was horrible. I was very self-centered, and I often played the victim in every situation. Before Lincoln, I felt the need to prove myself to people. I cared about what people thought of me. I didn't even I didn't even care what the reaction was. It took me a long time to figure that out. Lincoln helped me learn it and to use it every day. I actually started thinking about my consequences. Before, I would do whatever I would, let my emotions get the best of me, and make impulsive decisions. Sometimes keeping comments to yourself will avoid a lot of conflicts. Watching what you say will get you a lot further in life. The last thing I learned at Lincoln that I lacked before was self-control. At Lincoln, I had so much time to reflect on my decisions, on my work, on my life, and what made me a better person and what didn't make me a good person. All I did was think and reflect on my past and my future. Without Lincoln and the Lincoln staff, I would probably not have changed. I would have had that time of reflection, and I strongly grew. Thanks to Lincoln, I became better, have a career plan, and now I can say Lincoln truly helped me graduate, especially at times that were difficult. I wanted to give up. The staff pushed us to keep going, and that's what I needed. I forever thank Lincoln in clarifying my life. China is not here tonight, but China is no longer a student at Lincoln either. She graduated as well, so we're very proud of her. The last student that I have to recognize is Dakota Dobson. Dakota just started with us not that long ago. I actually did his intake. There's a process that students have to go through to come to Lincoln. I did his intake, and he sat across the desk from me, and I could tell he was not a happy camper. He did not want to be there. And he came in, and he had a little bit of a difficult start. But all of a sudden, again, he made that change. And he's like, you know what? I have these goals in life. I messed up. I need to own it. And once he came to that realization, he owned what he did. He's overcome that. And now Dakota is looking at graduating within the next month or so. And he's going to be a freshman at Illinois State University. So,
All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right, Brooks, you guys ready? All right, Harvey Brooks Foundation, Executive Director is Timothy Davis.
Thank you. It's indeed a pleasure to be here on this evening once again to be a part of the Greater Joliet Alliance for Youth. It's always wonderful to really, really appreciate the students, but most of all, we appreciate the parents. Give yourselves a hand. We appreciate the support that you give your children to be a part of these organizations, and that to me is very, very important. We're delighted on this evening to honor 3 students, and all of which we have seen grow up in this community and as a part of transforming the lives of youth and families in this community. These children and their families have played an important part in what we do as a foundation. And the first honoree is Monica Bearfield. Monica is an outstanding student, not just academically, but she is also on the basketball team at Joliet Central High School. I would say West, but Central. She wanted to make sure I knew that. Joliet Central High School. And this young lady, don't look at her stature because she has received a scholarship to attend a college university at this point. And you can let them know where. Alcorn State University. Alcorn State University. An athletic scholarship. We are so very proud of her. Her parents, her grandparents, her grandmother is here, and her mom. We and her dad. Raise your hand over there. We are just so proud of her and her accomplishments and the work that she has done, volunteering to help during our summer camps and our after-school program. We have watched her grow, and I think she should be applauded for that. The next recipient, thank you, Monica. The next recipient is Jalen Perry. And Jalen had to leave because he too plays on the basketball team for Joliet West High School. He had to leave tonight. He was here earlier. He is an outstanding student and a beautiful young man. Both of these young people are very active in their church ministries as well. And Jalen, and please forgive me because I came without my glasses. Jalen has been an active volunteer for the foundation since its inception. He has participated in the Tony Ray Gospel Fest for multiple years. And this fest benefits the community every year by sharing Jesus' joy through music, fun, and food. He sings in a choir, fundraised with multiple events, participated in setting up and cleaning the grounds once the festival was over. Basically, anything he was asked to do, Jalen completed his task with ease. Lastly, he has helped pack food for the Feed My Starving Children program that feeds starving children in third world countries. He has participated in feeding over 300 children with his packing of meals. Let's give Jalen a round of applause. His mother is here to receive the award on his behalf, and his aunties and grandfather is here too. I thought I saw his grandfather here. He had to leave. So we really, really appreciate all of the support that this family has provided for the youth. And lastly, we have Daquan Williams. Come on up, Daquan. Daquan is a very mannerable young man that's always eager to help other students, both his peers and youngsters in primary grades. He helps his younger brother first and foremost with his assignments, then others, in most instances before he tackles his own homework. Daquan's outgoing, friendly personality
is like a magnet that encourages other students to participate in any activities planned for the day once homework and academic study is done. He is an honor student and is continuously striving to improve scholastically. DeQuan likes basketball and other sports, but has a true talent for cultural arts, a natural talent for dance, stepping, poetry, and rap music. He is the lead performer in the Foundation's RISE, Roaring Individuals Striving for Excellence program that provides the youth with an outlet to express themselves positively through artistic step dance routines. Harvey Brooks Foundation is proud to celebrate DeQuan Williams as a student of excellence and know that his example will help to positively influence other youth in the years to come. Let's give them all a round. We want DeQuan's parents to raise your hand. They're here. And thank you.
DeQuan, y'all look for me and DeQuan representing together. He and I had an opportunity to be a part of the University of St. Francis Black History program. And that song, Glory, that was from the movie Selma. He pressed real hard into learning that common rap theme. And so we kind of hooked up together and collaborated in a presentation at the University of St. Francis. And he did an awesome job. Yeah. And so, if you have a venue and you want to invite us to do that, yeah, me and Dee. Thank you very much, Ms. Davis. Guys, what I want to be careful not to do is they so organize this thing so well that the bags are grouped up by names and stuff. And what I did was kind of scramble it up and mess it up. So if your gift card doesn't have your name on it, it's their fault. So we're gonna move on to University of Illinois. John Davis.
I want to make sure I get done before Larry's church starts. I work for the University of Illinois. My name is John Davis. Some of you see me. I also do basketball and soccer refereeing, so please don't throw anything here like you do in the court usually. I do work for the University of Illinois. Don't ask me about the basketball and football teams. I have no responsibility in that area. My primary job is I work in youth development, and I've been involved with youth for most of my life, either as a high school teacher or with the university or through coaching and refereeing. So youth are very, very important to me, and as I get older, I appreciate even more. I'd like to recognize Jeremy Sharp. So Jeremy, come on up here. At the same time, I'd like to recognize his parents, Diane and Walter Sharp, back at the table there. I always thought my kids succeeded despite me, but I know in most cases, kids succeed because of their parents. So I'm glad you're all here and spending some time tonight with that. Jeremy's been involved with the Land of Lincoln 4-H Club. I told you I work with the university, and why is the university up in this area, but my job is with the 4-H program and the robotics program and embryology and about anything that happens in the schools that we can support, we do. Jeremy's been in the Land of Lincoln 4-H Club since 2009. He's worked on a variety of projects, including woodworking, geology, visual arts, and natural resources. He's gone to the State Fair twice with projects, once for geology and once for natural resources. And he also works with the 4-H Federation in Will County. In the community, he's active in Special Olympics. He's participated in golf skills on the regional level and has gone to state 2 times. Maybe you can help me with my handicap. Jeremy is active in church as an usher. He's also active in the youth group. He participates in student council through his homeschool co-op. He also helps pack cartons for National Collection Week for Operation Christmas Child, which he has been doing since 2007. One thing that impresses me about Jeremy is he sets his own standard. He's not easily swayed by others. If Jeremy wants to do something, Jeremy will do it, even if he's the only one in the group that wants to do it. And that takes a lot of conviction sometimes. He's not one of those sheep that follows the pack, so I can always trust the pack. He's a man of his convictions. So the University of Illinois Extension is proud to recognize Jeremy Sharp tonight. So
It'll help.
this whole side say take the microphone.
It'll help. Boys and Girls Club. The Boys and Girls Club is, where's Nick? Okay, the Will County Regional Office of Education, Javon. Where's Javon? I have to make sure that I find Javon's, the person that selected Javon is my coworker, so she has given me the privilege of recognizing. And I want to say thank you very much for getting him here, because she said that your schedule was pretty hectic, and for you guys to get him here, you had to jump through a lot of hoops and change a lot of things around. So thank you very much for getting him here. My coworker is a truancy specialist like myself, and she talked about Javon in a very special way. He's self-driven. He wants to be successful. He's got goals for his life. He's got this thing where he doesn't look to the left or to the right. He just wants to be better. And he's a good student as well. And so on behalf of the Regional Office of Education, congratulations. Keep being excellent, sir. So they had him organized so well. There we go, sir. I get to take a picture with him.
Okay, Banquet Ministry is a ministry that comes together in the community. We provide alongside services for individual families and community organizations. We are a subsidiary of Good Samaritan Ministries of Joliet, Illinois. And our pastor could not be here tonight because he's working. He's a counselor. And but on behalf of Paraclete Ministries, we do have our Sunday school teacher with us upon tonight, Sister Sharonda Sanders, who will help read the information about each of these great recipients. And our first recipient is Ms. Sahida Sharp. Okay, Sahida. Portia is always prepared. Sahida is an outstanding student who goes above and beyond to get her job accomplished. Sahida loves to volunteer services to help individuals as needed. I have witnessed Ms. Sharp to be compassionate and continue to work hard to be obedient to her Christian walk, her parents and peers. Sahida always makes herself available when needed, such as her outstanding efforts of volunteer work within the community, visiting and praying for the sick, providing services for Martin Luther King Day of service, and help attending the needs in the neighborhood and Morning Star Mission. Sahida continues to progress effectively. She is willing to teach her class selected lessons from the Bible and present her knowledge to the congregation. Ms. Sharp works from the heart and always gives her all. Ms. Sharp doesn't believe in giving up. She will work harder to correct herself. Sahida is involved with many activities and active with many of her interests. Sahida sings in the youth choir, is a faithful Sunday school student, worship dance for the Lord. Sahida also plays basketball and the piano. Ms. Sharp is a positive role model within the church and community setting. It is a pleasure to have witnessed a youth with a passionate heart for all her work, which has been accomplished. Ms. Sahida Sharp, and this is actually her Sunday student of excellence from Paraclete Ministries is Mr. Keyshawn Wiley.
Okay, Keyshawn Wiley is a gifted young man who has met a lot of accomplishments only at the age of 8. He is very friendly, always greet you with a smile, and he has a great sense of humor. Keyshawn is a member in his community football team in his church. Within his community, he has volunteered at the Soul Care Fair held in Joliet, and he is part of the cleaning up crew for his football team. He has been a member of the Joliet Raven Football League for 2 years, and through his dedication, he has received many awards. His most recent being honored with a trophy for winning the 2014 Super Bowl, and he was also drafted to play in another town for outstanding commitment to the game. Keyshawn is also an active member at the Good Samaritan Ministry Church in Joliet. Here he attends Sunday school and enjoys participating, learning, asking, and answering questions eagerly. He has been awarded with certificates for participation, growth, and class attendance. He is also a part of the GSM Sunshine Choir, where he is able to share and witness to others about his greatness of God through song. Keyshawn also helps around the church when needed by helping taking a Sunday school offering, helping to keep the church clean, and help out when requested of him. Keyshawn is a young man who is positive and uplifting and serves as a great role model for others. He has been my pleasure to witness his growth spiritually through the years.
All right, and our third and final recipient is Mr. Keandre Wild. Keandre Wiley is a student of excellence. He learns and learns well. He teaches and teaches well. Keandre is an age 14 Christian male who has allowed the Lord and the people who God places in his life to turn his life around completely. He attends and participates in Sunday school faithfully. Keandre sings in our youth choir and youth male chorus. When he is singing praises to the Lord, he sings from the heart. The congregation is encouraged by his singing. He has not always been this way. During a very volatile period, he had angry outbursts, was sad, uncooperative, and disrespectful at times. But his father, Mr. Keon Wiley, his stepmother, Sister Sharonda Sanders, his grandparents who are here, Brother and Sister Wiley, his pastor, Reverend Dr. Lester Brown, his Sunday school teachers, our First Lady Beverly Brown, our youth choir leader, Good Samaritan Church members, his aunt, his teachers, and academic staff and coaches. His village would not give up on him. Most importantly, Keandre did not give up on himself. Today, Keandre is a role model in the church, school, and community. He understands many of the struggles that his peers and younger males have and makes himself available to help and encourage him. Today, Keandre volunteers in the church and community. Today, Keandre is self-employed in the summer by cutting grass, breaking leaves. He is a winner in sports and teaches other young males how to be a winner. Today, Keandre's attitude, his respectful demeanor, sense of humor, and diligent work in school makes him a winner, makes him a student of excellence. And they were selected by the leadership in our church and everything. So this is my daughter, their sisters and brothers, and that's their mother and their father.
All right, come on, Brandon Juliet. Wow, MCA. Danielle Cross.
I'm Danielle Crone. I'm the aquatics director at the Smith Family YMCA. And as it so happens, both the nominees from the Y this year have done volunteering with the aquatics department, so I've had the honor of getting to work with both of them, and really very much appreciate all the time that they have donated towards the YMCA and our programming. So the first nominee I'm going to talk about tonight is Alex Cater, who is sitting right up front there. So one of the programs that we offer at the YMCA is our SOAR program, and what that is, we partner with the school districts. We 4 of the District 86 schools. We also partner with various local organizations, such as the Harvey Brooks Foundation, where kids are bused to the YMCA for free swimming lessons. These are kids who would not otherwise have access to learn how to swim. Most of these, a lot of the kids in this program have never gotten in the pool before, and so it's really neat to see how excited they are, but also to help with drowning prevention in the Joliet community. And the program has been growing in size, and we don't want to turn any kids away. But at the same time, we want to still be able to give the kids that same level of attention. And so we've had volunteers starting to help us with the program, and Alex is one of the very first volunteers to start helping us out with that program. He's been coming in 2 days a week, and we really appreciate his help. I had some notes from his swim team coach. Alex is also an active member of the Joliet Jets swim team. And has been very successful with them, and his coach sent along some kind words about him as well. He says that Alex has participated with the Joliet Jets for over 7 years, where he is highly regarded by his teammates for kindness, for a sense of humor and leadership that he has shown with his younger teammates. He says that Alex is also up for a nomination to be the male athlete representative on the Illinois State Swim Committee. And if voted by his peers, he would attend committee meetings to offer his voice and vote to help create positive change. He has experience of leadership, experience as a camp counselor. At JCA, Alex is an honor student and serves as a student ambassador and club officer. So a lot of wonderful accomplishments, and we're really proud to have him spending so much extra time with us at the Y. So thank you, Alex. So our second nominee from the Y tonight is Miss Shauna Gordon. So Shauna was a part of our very first junior lifeguard program that started last summer. And as a member of that program, she shadowed lifeguards. She also shadowed swim instructors. At the end of the summer, at the end of that conclusion of that program, we had a junior guard games competition with other local YMCAs, and Shauna was the lone representative from the Smith YMCA who was able to participate that evening, and even as such, as the only participant there representing our YMCA, she won the Golden Whistle, which is an award for the single junior guard at the event who shows the highest level of skill with regard to their saves and their scanning and all the different skills that are tested in the events at that event. So that was a pretty big honor. Since then, even after the program was over, Shauna requested to come back every Saturday and donate her time to assist with teaching swimming lessons on the weekends. And she recently just asked if she could up her hours. So now she's up to 2 days a week. She's coming in and also helping with the same SOAR program on Tuesday evenings. And then I just heard that she wants to increase and do even more time with us this summer. So it's unbelievable the level of dedication that we get from her at the YMCA. I know outside of the Y, she's also very active in her 4-H club. She actually brought them to the Y one evening and demonstrated life-saving skills for her fellow participants. So very, very thankful to Shauna, and congratulations to both of you. We're very proud of the Y to be able to present both of you with this award tonight.
So it's Joliet Public Schools District 86. And of course, you have another one. It's 3. I know, but that's 3. Do you have another one? You got to look at what you got. It's where it's going to be. You don't have it, but it's okay. You don't have to have it. You know. Okay. Joliet Public Schools District 86. Because it's okay. I can make it work. I know all of these guys. Because they don't come to school about once a week. No, that's not true at all. I just really have the privilege of just going to the schools, because the schools actually select their students of excellence with their own criteria in much the same way as any member of our alliance. So I don't go to the school and say, this is who Lily has to be, this is who Jonna has to be, or this is who Ariana has to be, or this is who Shanice has to be. I say, hey, we have the opportunity to select students of excellence from each of our schools, and you determine the criteria, and you select that person, and provide me with a brief bio so that I can share that with the Alliance and share that with you when we talk about students of excellence. And so I'm just going to go down the list of, if I can, and try to read this. From Hereford Junior High, we have Miss Lily Bryson. Yeah, and most of these say in commitment of your commitment to academic excellence and community service to District 86. In addition, it says from the school, it says Lily is a model student who exceeds in academics and community service. She is involved in Scholastic Bowl, drama club, choir, math competition, and the Children for Peace art show. In addition to her scholastic and artistic ability, she has an excellent work ethic and goes above and beyond with her work. This year, Lily will be representing Joliet Public School District 86 at the State Science Fair. Her grades in community service at Hereford Junior High have afforded her the opportunity to participate in the National Honor Society. She is always respectful to peers and adults alike, making her an overall model student and person. All right. I'm going to get all of my guys up here at the same time. So I'm going to go right through that. Open it up. Let me take a picture. You can see that. All right. Ariana Gentry. All right, Miss Ariana. I did good on that name, because I looked at it and I go, what'd I say? Very good. Good to see you. Ariana, I took a picture. I just kind of showed up at Dumpers one day, and I said, "Hey, I'm here to take the picture because you're your principal and the staff there. In fact, there's Mr. Kalinsky, the academic advisor over there. Thank you for being here tonight, Pete Kalinsky from Dumpers Junior High." And they said, "Oh yeah, send her down." And she had her hair. It was looked like it was very neat in my opinion. But it wasn't what she wanted, But I was there to take the picture. I said, "Well, you come on, take the picture, okay?" Kind of deal. And so I don't know what happened, but somehow the picture that Mr. Kalinsky, did you guys talk about that or something? But Mr. Kalinsky sent the picture that she would have preferred. And then I said, "Hey, what about this?" She said, "Yeah, that's the one." And so we got the picture that you wanted in there, and so that was kind of cool too. What is that thing you say? Yeah, her commitment to academic excellence and community. This is what they said about her from the school. Ariana Gentry is a model member of Dumpers family. She has been on high honor roll for all 3 quarters of her 8th grade year. She is a member of the basketball team, the volleyball, and soccer teams. She is truly a leader both on and off the court. She is willing to accept and understand everyone's differences. Ariana has not received any behavior referrals in her 3 years at Dumpers. She is an excellent student, and there's a comma there. Instead of saying student athlete, it says she's an excellent student, she's an excellent athlete and person who the city of Joliet should be proud to have as a resident. Ariana Gentry. From Dirksen Junior High, Jonna Grimm. We have the principal, the assistant principal, and the academic advisor here from Banquet as well. Thank you guys for being here. They better so they know who you are. I just had so much, just like with all of them, but Jonna's spirit she just jumps on you. You know, it's such a positive thing that she displays it. And it was just kind of cool. And as much as she didn't know that this was something, she probably wasn't surprised so much to do that she might get this award. So this is what the school said about Jonna Grimm. She's an 8th grade student who attends Dirksen Junior High. Jonna has become a vibrant part of the fabric that makes Dirksen Junior High a phenomenal school. In fact, Jonna has placed herself in various facets within the building. She is part of the District Student Leadership Council. She is a yearbook club member. She is a part of a Junior Bader Club. Jonna never hesitates to step up and volunteer at most of Dirksen's sporting events, even filling in when her peers could not be there. She has a great sense of humor, is kind, innovative in the classroom. Academically, she maintains a high honor roll position and plans to attend Harvard University. Student of excellence, Jonna Grimm. Shanice, I'm gonna have to really wean yours here, because I don't have your the comments that came from the school. I'll do the best that I can, but I've had a lot of opportunities to hang out with Shanice, her brothers more than anything, from over at Culbertson, even at Washington, and even if they've attended the high school. And it's just been it's a very, very cool family. I had an opportunity, even this is part of what was written about you, is that you just have a strong family. You know, grandpa's a minister of the gospel, and they're very active in social things in the community. The school describes Shanice as a person who's selfless. You know, she's about not only doing what's good for herself, but what's good for her peers as well. Says she's often found helping students who may not be grasping an academic concept well, and she takes on voluntarily the role as a peer tutor for them, and does it in such a persevering way sometimes until they gain those kind of concepts. She's just been excellent in terms of how she represents herself in the school and in the community. She's active in her church. She sings in a choir. She likes to sing so much that she hopes one day to try out on Broadway as a singer. You know, I'm gonna challenge you on that. You know, we'll come back and see if we got some chops. But that's who she is. Shanice, come on. Washington Junior. All right, congratulations. All right, this is 86. Took it back. You've been very, very patient with us. You got me, bro? I thank you very much for getting our students, our honorees here. Thank you for surrounding them. Ms. White, you shared it in such an eloquent way as you identify all of those components, all of those necessary ingredients that it takes to nurture and protect an environment that's about excellence. You know, the other side of that thing is that it could be a bunch of the wrong people. And I'm glad that I'm in a room full of people who are the right people who are going to kind of make sure. So thank you very, very much. We're going to be doing this again next year. But they'll probably have a new president after tonight. You know, again, I'd like to thank Ms. Portia Williams for putting this event together. Certainly like to thank our honorees, and certainly like to thank the parents for doing all that they do. I thank very much. I just can't forget Coach. thank you very much for all of the nuggets that you brought to us. One of the things that I said to her was that I had hoped that she would not be available. You know, why? Because, man, the women's basketball team, they came this close. And I mean, if you guys pay attention to St. Francis basketball, it's exciting stuff. I'm telling you, it's a caliber of basketball that you would certainly enjoy, and they represented well. What was our record? We ended up being 28-5. So as high as being ranked number 4 in the nation. See, and when you know this ain't no chump stuff. This is the real deal basketball, real deal. And so we're certainly honored that you would take the time to be a part of our celebration. And we wish you more success. And again, thank you very, very much. Thanks again to everybody for being out tonight. If you got a few minutes to hang around and help us tear this thing down, we'll certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ms. Julie Alexander, for being here tonight. We certainly appreciate you and all that you do for the community.